Hey guys, I'm here with another Wi-Fi battle, and this is a UU match against TheFinalPancake. He's a really cool guy. He called himself the UU champ, so I had to check him out. He was absolutely great. He predicts like a champ, literally. So yeah. So I go into my primate. You see, he goes into Rhyperior, and I do predict the Stealth Rocks. So I go for a close combat, and I was really hoping he didn't go for an Earthquake or something, predicting me to predict that. But he just goes for the Stealth Rock anyways. And I go for another close combat. I was going to go for a U-turn, predicting him to switch. But I decided not to, because I decided it was just better to go for a close combat. So I don't want to take that chance that he would, stay in. So he does predict the U-turn right now. So he goes into his Steelix. And that gives me a chance to wall him with my Blastoise. And right here is probably predicting me to go for a Surf, but instead I go for the Rapid Spin because as I have a Pokemon that's ×4 super effective against Stealth Rock, so it would have made it useless. So that's why I have the Rapid Spin, and I do have something with Focus Sash. So yeah, he goes into his Chansey, and he goes for the T-Wave, which I predicted. I just decided to stay in because I'd rather have Blastoise T-Wave than anything else on my team. So I go for a Toxic just to wear that thing down. And he decides to switch as I decide to switch too. And I go into my Venusaur, which is a kind of a bad switch, but it's okay. I wish I had the Sledge Bomb on this thing, but I don't. Unfortunately, I have the Energy Ball. And I go for a Lead Seed straight away. And he goes for the Mega Horn, which I'm pretty sure I could have lived one, and I do. And that activates my Overgrow ability, and I go for the Energy Ball, and it does like nothing, which is pretty sad. I'm guessing this Heracross is EV trained in special defense, judging by that it has the bulk up, and that's a pretty good strategy. And he finishes me off. So I go into my Alakazam. I decided to pull a double switch, predicting him to switch, so I went into my Primate, and that did not work out well for me. So unfortunately I lost my Primate because of that over prediction, and even though that was not very effective, it took me out anyways. So I go into my Alakazam again. Now he predicts my Psychic for real, and now it goes into Chansey just to wall me. And I was gonna use Focus Blast, but I did not want to take that chance of missing and all that stuff. So switching to my Blastoise, predicting him to T-Wave me again or something. And he switches into his own Alakazam, and he goes for a Psychic, and that does a lot of damage. I don't know what this Alakazam is. I'm guessing maybe it's Specs or something. I have no idea. So we go for the Protect just to stall this Alakazam more. And that is pretty good for me. He finishes me off with Psychic. So yeah, down goes my Blastoise. I did lose a lot of pokes in this game just for one poke just to set up. So you have to wait till see at the end. So he goes into his Steelix as I go for Arcanine, and he did predict my extreme speed on the Alakazam. And unfortunately I missed with my Will-O-Wisp, which probably would have saved my Arcanine, because I was predicting him to go into Heracross for his Guts ability, but for some reason in this battle he didn't choose to switch on to his Heracross when I did have a lot of status inducers and stuff. Yeah, so he goes for Curse and he goes for Earthquake, and that does a lot of damage. And this is a bulky Arcanine set. So I go for a save Will-O-Wisp now, thinking that he's not going to switch. I was hoping I could live one Earthquake, but that was impossible. And he gets a crit, which probably didn't matter. And yeah, so it gets more burn damage as I go into my Charizard. And this is where I set up my sub. And it was predicted me to be a special Charizard, but I just can't use those. Those don't work for me. Believe it or not, belly drummers are the only things that work for me. And yeah, so let the sweeping begin. So he goes for aromatherapy. I was hoping he wasn't gonna go for the seismic toss, which is a great for me. So I go for the fire punch. It's stab plus blaze plus 6 raise, and that will definitely destroy the Chansey because it doesn't have very good defenses, even though it has a lot of HP. And it took it out one punch. And he goes into his Alakazam, hoping it wasn't Scar so he can break my sub, and then he has a priority move or something. So I take it out with a Fire Punch, and he goes into Rhyperior. I go for the Earthquake. I'm lucky that I don't have the Thunder Punch. I'm glad I have the Earthquake instead of Thunder Punch. Otherwise, I would have been in trouble. Probably would have taken the Fire Punch. So yeah, he goes into his Uxie, take it down with a Fire Punch. Absolutely. Get a crit. I don't think it mattered. Another Fire Punch on the Steelix, super effective. Yeah, this is pretty much good game, TheFinalPancake. And he goes into his last Heracross Fire Punch, and that would definitely take it down. I don't know if that if it was Scarfed, it would have been better, but yeah, great game.